topic of Sudiata. Um, I'm gonna give you a short summary and introductory points of the story. So in this video project, I am going to talking about the meaningful story of the epic of Sudiata. At first, I will describe the most important details of the story and the main message. Second, I will explain some moments, ideas, the scene for the stories, and that illustrate how the cultural African and values was at that time. And finally, I will present ideas of my culture that can relate to the theme of these stories. The story of the Epic of Sudiana is told by a griot a storyteller to illustrate how the Sudiata managed to become the king and from the empire of Mali. The stories begin with a prophecy, and the prophecy was based in the one day King Nere Magna Kunathe is going to meet an ugly woman that he's going to have a son who will one day become a strong and powerful king. Ideal for the city of Niani. Shortly thereafter, Kanav meet a ugly woman, um, who her name is Solongo, and right after immediately they're gonna marry, and so he can fulfill the prophecy. After that, they had a son who was called Sudinyana, and the destiny of Sudiana, according to the prophecy, was to be a king, but he wasn't born disabled. He couldn't walk. This situation made many vivid because he died. Um, Now possesses the qualities of a powerful king. Therefore, Sudinyana faced many challenges from an early age, such as his in
Inability.
and the social pressure of being part of the inheritance of the kingdom. On Leslie did constant humanizations of the first wife to award him as his mother. Um, when the cannot die, his first son inheriting the throne, ignoring the prophecy. So he and his family take the throne, which means that the suffering of Sudiniara and his families determined Sudiniara to walk as a result. Sudiniara stood on two legs and defend his family. However, the envy of his first wife, of the king, and her first son was so strong that they sent Sudiniara and his family to the exile. While Sudiniara was in exile, he prepared himself to be strong as a lion and being learning how the battle's technique was working and gaining wisdom. After 7 years in exile, Sudiniada's plans was to destroy the Sonomoro, who was taking control of the Niani by force and who was considered a bad leader. Sudiniana and his family, also with the support of his small army, fought Sunomoro and his army. Sudiniara and his people managed to destroy the army of Sunomoro, but when Sudiniara goes to face Sunomoro, he disappeared as if by magic. So Sudiniara tells his army that they are not going to look at him because it was already so dark that it will be a good idea arrive in Niani. He sacrificed after all of that. He sacrificed a oxen and rams to thank his triumph. So the Niara was after all of that, was welcomed to a Niani with joy and celebrations. He began to build a Niani as his father had before. And Niani forward to the Niara in he was able to form alliance with another cities in the nation of Mali, and in this way Niara managed to build the empire of Mali. In addition to that, Niara becomes the king and the hero for his people, and today he is recognized as a legend of Mali. So the message of this story is that nothing is impossible. That if we do not have the qualities at the beginning to fulfill our dreams and goals, it does not mean that we have to give up. We just have to work as hard to the Niara. So now I would like to share my understanding of the culture of Mali. We gotta look at aspect of the African culture that we can appreciate in is their belief. Especially we can find some examples in these stories where the storyteller taught us about the value of the culture of Africa. Also, another is that their belief in destiny. Through these stories, we can see how the king of Kanuri had faith in the prophecy, even though Sudiniara was born with the physical, even if he was born with physical difficulties. We can also highlight the sacrifice as a method of giving thanks. So the Niara sacrificed oxen and rams to thank God when he won and when he was led in Niani as a king. Furthermore, the lion is also a symbol of strength and courage. That is why Sudiniara was compared as a lion. So now I just wanna talk about the relationship between the leader of my culture with Sudiniara. I can relate aspect of the African culture to my own culture of the Dominican Republic. So a long time ago, before we became independent as a nation, we were invaded for 22 years by the Haiti armies, commanded by Jean Dessalines. Our leader, Juan Pablo Duarte, is one of the father of the Dominican Republic. He was fighting with his group to give us the freedom that we have today. Like Sudiniara, Duarte was fighting to make their people happy. They both are similar and different stories, but their role it was just empire for their people. Also, their relationship of the parents toward their children is similar in my home country. In my culture, parents support their children to be successful. Remember that Kanode gave Seliniara a personal growth to develop his routine. I would like to recommend. I will recommend the Epic of Seliniara to anyone because it's a story full of values. Also, it teaches us that no one born perfect and that all the adversity that ones go through in life can make us stronger. These stories show us that give up is not an option in life when we want to achieve our goals. As Sudiniara, we have to work hard and believe in ourselves.